Hi, Astrobot 314. Sorry for the delay in the stream, but I'm just getting started now, unfortunately. um, all right, so I already updated the working command for the things that I'm going to work on today. Um, and I have a plan for how this thing should look. So we're just gonna go ahead and get started. First, let me see if I can draw a little bit of mock-up here. All right, so let's create a new mock-up here. All right, so this is what this should look like. So we're gonna have a little bit of a text input here, which is basically going to be the branch name. So this is going to be develop, for example. And then we're going to have, let's say, a button here. And then this is going to see search or view. Great. And then what we're going to have, let's say, like a box or a div box. All right, so let's say this one here. I wonder why this is like what's frustrated me about this product is that you can't really like rearrange those in terms of like size and stuff. All right, and then this is going to be, let's say, a text input here. No, sorry. So just going to be a label here, and this is going to be the project name. And then we're going to have build number. And for example, this is going to be build number 100. And then we're going to have a build status. And the color of this like little square. So let's put like a note here. So here, color of the project in the view is going to be either green for passing build, red for failing build, or gray for still in progress. All right, so this is going to, let's put this like a little note here on the side, and then we can grab these and basically duplicate these, like so. All right. Great. So this is kind of what the project's is gonna look like. And great. So let's go ahead and export this. So project, let's say export current mockup to PNG, and let's put it here as the main screen. All right. So that is good. And let's actually put this somewhere that we can find it. So let's put it here. All right, so there it is. So we can easily find it for later. Great. So now here, let's create README. And then we're going to call this Circle CI Radar Client. and let's say a mockup here, and then image here. So then assets, let's put it here, and then here, this is going to be the mockup of the main screen. So we can actually link this for people that haven't seen it yet. Adding the mockup. So let's push this. And refresh here. Great. All right. So this is kind of where we are getting started. So we just had the mockup here. Hey, Firecopy, welcome. Just realized you have a funky keyboard. Yeah, I don't usually have like this keyboard camera here, but like this one here. But today I thought, because we're not gonna whiteboard anything, at least I don't think so, then I thought maybe it's worth it for people to see the keyboard. I know in the past people enjoyed it. If you think it's not, then I'll get rid of it. You know, if we're gonna need the screen real estate, so we're gonna get rid of it. Great. So yes, the mockup was made. The mockup was made with Balsamic. Yeah. Great. Awesome. So we have the client and we have the server, and both of them are basically empty projects. So what I want to do, I want to split this with the previous project I had. So let's take the Fullstack network, and I think the Pomodori server is a good candidate here. So let's grab this, and let's grab this. And what I'm going to do is take up this src and the package JSON, the read, and npmrc. Do I need it really? Yeah, let's take it. All right, and let's copy this here. And then let's start. All right, so here we have the environment, development. Okay, we have Express, and we have this one. So config is good. And in terms of the server, we don't need the task controller. We don't really need the auth controller and the user controller as well. So I'm going to take all of these and just remove them. Let's keep the user controller just in case. The factory we don't need, so let's go ahead and remove that. What do we need with the helpers? The helpers we do need in terms of middleware. The user token we don't really need, so we're going to grab that. The models, we don't need the task, and we don't need this one, so we're going to remove it. In terms of routes, so we don't need the auth, we don't need the task, so we're going to remove that as well. And tests, we definitely don't need the task factory test, and we don't need the model, so that's good. And I think that's about it. All right, so now we can grab this and do npm install. So before I actually do that, let's see what I have in package.json. All right, so here the name is Circle CI radar server, and then this is this one. So let's call this Circle CI radar server, and I don't know, version 0.0.1, and description is radar for Circle CI projects built to specifically serve a multi-service environment. All right, so that looks good. Keyword, who needs that? Nobody. Author, so let's change this and change that. Great. SRC index, private is false. Great. So we need dev. Repository is going to be here. So let's grab the repository. And this is the client. Let's grab the server. And take this as the repository. Great. All right. So we need body parser, cookie parser, cores, JSON web token. I don't really need the JSON web token. I don't really need passport here as well because this will not require a login. But anyway, let's start here. I think this is a good place to start. So let's do that here, and then issues, and then here. This is going to be URL, and this is going to be homepage. Great. All right. So everything looks good, and now let's do npm install. So I'm sorry to keep you waiting while I do npm install. I know it's a bit of a pain. All right, so npm install ran, and let's go to start debugging this. And this is probably not going to work. If I do npm start, it's going to start having some bugs. And I know immediately where those going to be. So let's go ahead and change the route index. Here, I can remove the auth and the task. So I can remove that as well. So that's definitely one thing I can remove. The other one is the express config. The middleware is the JSON web token middleware. So let's see the token here. Okay, so I don't see that here. So let's go ahead and start up MongoDB. Oh, one thing I do want to change is the config environment dev here. I want to change the server name to Circle CI radar development, right? Great. We don't really need the password. That's okay. And let's try to do npm start here. All right. So yeah, this is everything that is going on here now in terms of errors I expected. And we're going to solve them. Just Sol, do you code in modular approach or use classes when working with Node? I'm not really sure what you mean by that. I do use classes, but I don't know why is that different than a modular approach. What exactly do you mean by like the modular approach? All right, so now can find module controller, auth controller. So where is this coming from? Okay, so this one, user.route. Great. So let's go ahead to user.route. And this is the auth controller. So get users.id. Great, we can remove that really. And we can remove that, and let's try to do npm start again. Okay, so seems like I think 4040. Yes, great. 4040. That's what we want. Okay. So not found, API not found. Great. This is what we want. All right. So this one is API users. Great. So we have a server, a start of a server, which is what we want. And I'm still not sure what's gonna be the authentication for this. I have two options for authentication. One is to not have authentication and just host this in the internal network. And then I don't really worry about authentication. It's only going to be accessible using the VPN. So the VPN is the actual authentication. By module, I mean use like module.exports function instead of using a class. So I do use module.exports function 1, function 2, but I also use module.export class. So you will see when I use one and when I use the other. But yeah, I use classes and functions. But yes, I do use the module.exports quite a bit. All right, so now we have that server running. And that server, by the way, is connected to a Docker container running MongoDB that you can actually see. Well, you don't actually see it, but it's under the camera, like right there underneath this camera. And yeah, all right, cool. So what I want to do now is I want to start with running the server. And basically, so we'll understand what the server is supposed to do. The server is supposed to take all of the projects that we have, and we have a bunch of them. And then it's supposed to query Circle CI API. So let's go Circle CI API. So everything I'm going to do today is going to be around that API and managing the access to that API. And yeah, we can see like the API references and API 1.1. And we can see kind of what we have here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start working through that API and see how I want to do things. Great. So let's do that. Let's exit Vim here and reopen it to refresh. Why did I do that? I don't know, but I don't need it. So config we have here, controllers, we have the user controller, which I'm really not sure we even need, if we're completely honest. But I'm going to keep it here for, I don't know why even, but I'm going to keep it here. Awesome. So now let's go ahead and get started. And the first thing I want to do is I want to create a controller for getting all the projects. All right. So basically a controller that will give me a list of all the projects that I have. Okay, so let's go ahead and create that. So we're going to create an src server controllers, and we're going to create a project.controller.js. And let's go to the user controller and do, I don't know, let's not do that. Great. And now, what do we want here? So let's go ahead and say function get all, which is going to accept the request and response and next. All right. And then this one here, we should call the Circle CI API and get a list of projects for your organization. Great. So let's go ahead and do that. And here we also need to do like a refresh. And refresh is going to basically do call Circle CI API and store the projects in the internal database. And let's do that. The internal DB will act as a cache layer, avoiding HTTP calls. All right, cool. So now let's go ahead and look at the project. So I'm going to do this and projects. All right, so this one, list all the project you're following. So that's not good for me. List all the project you're following. So the project I'm following is definitely not what I want. Because I'm not following all the project. That would drive me insane. So let's see how we can get a list of all the projects. All right, so I guess we need to manage that ourselves. Are you writing this API wrapper? Yes, I mean, I'm writing this API wrapper in JavaScript. So, all right, so let's go and not mess around a lot. And let's say function, and let's say add project to follow. And this is going to be request, response, and next. Great. And then we also need the name of the organization. Okay, cool. I was worried you were going to fly by the Python project, unlike me. So I can definitely write that in Python. It's actually not a huge problem to write that with Python. We can definitely do that. If you guys prefer Python, I'm game with writing that in Python. All right, so add project to follow, and this is going to be the okay, no, okay. All right, so project here, project name here is going to be request.body.project name, or actually just name. And here we're going to say organization, which is going to be request.org.body.org, or we are going to say project.getDefault organization. All right. And then here, let's do module.export. Oh, I don't need module. This is ES6. Okay. So this is export. And this is going to be get all, refresh. And actually, we don't need refresh anymore. And then add project to follow. Awesome. So now we need a model for our project. So let's go ahead and create that. So ESRC server models, and we're going to say project.model.js here. And let's split this here. And let's take the user model here. And then what do we need? We need this for the UUID. We need, we don't need HTTP status. This is stupid. Great. And then this is going to be the project schema, right? So this is the project schema. The ID is string and the default is UUID v4. And we're going to have a name, which is a type string, and it's actually unique. And we are going to have an org, which is a type string and also unique. I don't know if we need timestamps here, but I like to leave them. And then we're going to do that. So then this is going to be here. And I don't know if we need... so the ID is string because it's UUID v4. And then let's say that we're going to export this. And let's change user to project here. And that's about it. Great. So we're going to do this and that. And you know what? I already don't like that this is Mongoose, if we're honest. And I might change it to be Postgres. Definitely might change it to be Postgres. I wonder if I want to do it now or I want to do it later. I don't know. Let's not worry about that right now. Okay, cool. So now this is this. Oh, why did I do that? I don't know. Project.model here, and we have that. And this is the project controller. Great. And here, get all is basically going to be, so let's split this again. And user model, and we have list here. And this dot find, great. So let's take this here and paste it here. I don't want the get one. I don't need a single project for now, so I'm gonna remove that. And let's change this from user to project here. And this is going to be this dot find dot limit. And all right, so limit, and let's put the limit on 100 as a starting point. All right. So I'm going to be back in 1 minute. My dog is barking. She wants to go outside. Give me a minute and I'll be back. Okay, sorry about that. My dog wanted to go outside. Okay, in Python, if an array is constantly changing, how can I account for that? So what do you mean constantly changing? I have an array for every project that the user follows, but there is always a new user and a new amount of project the user has. Yeah, that's fine. That's completely fine as long as the project is the same, and it's the same because that's what's being returned from this. Then that's fine. I mean, the array is always going to be different, but you're going to parse the object into the same structure. Londi F, hey back, man. How are you? All right, so we can get that. All right, so then this dot exec. Okay, so list is actually this one. Great. So I'm fine. I am extremely tired. I had I had a very hard ride today. It was extremely hot, and yeah, it was just like brutal. Um, what's a big screen system? So a big screen system is basically, as it sounds, it's a system you put on a big screen, and the purpose of it is to literally, with one look, you know what the status of your system is. So we have big screen systems for the state of the cluster, what's the memory state, what's the CPU state, and so on. But we want to grab one for our builds as well, because we have many projects. So you want in one view just kind of see where the projects are. Yeah, so you don't need to adjust for that. That's the thing. As long as it's an array, it's the same. So as long as you parse it into an array, that doesn't matter if it's 1, 6, or 6,000. That's the whole point. All right, here. So what we're gonna do here is, let's see. And I have to say, I really don't like the fact that this is Mongoose. So I'm gonna remove Mongoose, and I don't know if now, but anyway. So let's look Mongoose methods, create. So we should have a create method here, and let's do create or new something, and then save. All right, thing mongoose.model thing, new thing, great. Awesome. So let's go ahead and do this. And we're going to say that Stan UPA, thank you for the follow. So we're going to import project from models project.model into our projects controller. And here what we're going to do is we're going to say that const project, or actually let's do let project equals to new project, and this is going to be org, and then here we can pass the name and the org here, and then we can say res.json is going to be something. Now here, what we need to do is project.save.then project here, and this is going to be this one, success true, and here this is going to be catch error. Here, and close this off, and this is going to be false. Okay. So now we have the ed project to follow, and in order to really kind of even test this out, what we're going to do here is we're going to say project.list.then, and this is going to return a list of projects here, and we're going to respond with the JSON of those projects. Awesome. So now let's go to our route.index, and we are going to import the project routes from project and project.route. All right, so let's go ahead and create that file. So src server routes project and project.route.js. And before we do that, we need to, oh, this is actually, let me put that. Okay, great. So then make the src server routes and project in order to do that, and then save this. And here, this is actually our router. So this is going to be this. And we can do that. And let's import the user controller and import express and sort these. So now things starting to look like something. And we have get of projects, which is going to be, so here, user is going to be project. So this one is going to be project controller dot get all, and then post to projects is going to be project controller dot create. So the rest we can remove. And we are going to export default router. Great. And now index.route here. We are going to route for projects. And we are going to use the project routes. All right. So let's do npm start. And we wrote a lot of code. And that's kind of expected. Cannot read property get all of undefined. Okay, so the project dot controller needs to export. So it does export the controller. All right, so let's do export default here. Okay. So let's change the project dot routes to do this. So import get all and create from the controller. And let's go to the project controller here and change this to create. So that one is good. And where are we now? So router.get, all right, what did I miss? What did I miss? All right, so let's look at the project route. So router.get is going to be get all, and this is going to be create. So now this looks okay. And export default router. All right. Okay, so now things are starting to look like something. So let's go ahead and test it out with Postman. And let's do get for API and projects. So let's do send. And we're getting API not found. So let's see why. Right. So let's see if health check is working. So health check. Health check is working. All right. So this is projects. Oh, so is this? I think I made a mistake here. Yeah, I made a mistake. Great. So this one should be get with like this in order for this to work. Projects, great. So now this looks good. So we have a get and we have a create. So let's post here. And actually, before we do that, so project.model, we need to change this to org and this to org. Great. So now the name of the project is going to be Let's do Fermina, and the org is Globality Corp. And it's obviously not a password, but it's an org. And we're going to do send. And this is going to be post and headers. Okay, so again, this is the same issue. All right, so post to this. Great. And now send. And we get an internal server error. Name is not defined. So let's go to the project controller. And yeah, we have this is project name, should be name. And now we do send, and we get success true. And if we take the get for the project, now we get a project. All right, so we have a name of this one and an organization of Globality Corp. Great, so now we can add another one. So let's add sticks and send it. And success false. Why? Why would success be false? Okay, catch error, and let's add error is error. So let's add that. Duplicate key. Oh, okay. This is stupid. Project dot model here, and this should obviously not be unique. All right. So let's do that. And let's delete our entire database. And now we're getting success true. And success true. Awesome. And let's do get for all of our projects. And we get 2 projects with IDs and everything we need. All right, so what did people use before Postman? Curl with JQ. I still use curl with JQ quite a bit. All right, so now we have a way to add a project and a way to get all the projects. And what I want to do really is a way to delete a project. So this is going to be delete. And here we're going to, let's look at the Mongoose documentation and put it here. So delete or remove, what is it? Destroy. Document using Mongoose. Dot remove. Okay. All right. So we can get a find and a remove. I don't know if it's really critical to do that now. But we can. All right. So let's do project dot find. And this is going to be here on name. And name is going to be const name equals to what I have against it is everything. Request.body.name. And really, like, you know, all kidding aside, the thing I have against it the most is that it's just not in our stack. So in order to deploy this project, I'm gonna need to do something else. And this is why I'm like thinking and I really don't want to I really don't want to, but I think I'm gonna have to change this from Mongoose to Sequelize. All right, so this one is function delete. Why is it? Oh, okay. So function delete project. Okay, And what is going on? Delete. So, all right. So now this is good. Okay, cool. Great. So now, the reason I don't want to implement this is I'm probably going to remove this from Mongoose to Sequelize. So I don't want to implement a lot of things. So let's do this. All right. So now we have a get all. And what I want is to do this. So function get build status for projects in branch. This is so get build status for branch. And then again, request, response, and next. And branch name is going to be request.body.branch name. And this is going to be a constant. All right, so now we need to kind of start building a little bit of those APIs. So let's get rid of Postman here and look at the Circle CI API. And do that, and now build. So let's take this project, VCS type, and then username and project. Build summary of each of the last 30 builds for a single Git repo. So basically we can get this project, VCS type, username, project. And let's grab this with curl for a minute. And let's do export token equals to cat circle CI token here. And then let's do this. So curl here, and then project git globality corp and sticks and circle token equals to token. All right, this is me leaking my token, so I'm gonna remove that. All right. Oh, curl and its error messages. Thank you for that. All right, so let's delete this token. Thank you, Circle CI, for leaking the token. Or actually, this is curl fault, but that's okay. All right, so then this is going to be here. Great. So now we have a new token. And what I'm going to do in order to avoid this mistake, so let's try something else. All right, so this is going to be export token, and then we're gonna curl and wrap this with this one. Great. So why did this return an error? So then build summary for each of the 30 builds. So this is API project git globality and then the project name. and circle token equals token. Hello there, no scripter. All right, this is weird. Okay, this is very weird. So let's see what is the error here. So curl and then circle. Circle token equals token. Yep, this is what I've done. So let's, instead of doing curl, let's do HTTP. Now it's still giving me the same issue. So VCS type. So let's see what we have here in the VCS type. Yeah, so VCS type is definitely Git. All right, so project, VCS type, username, and then project. So get project VCS type, username, and then project. So everything is as it's supposed to be here. So what is wrong? So let me just look that the token is right. The token is right. This is odd. Okay, so let's get rid of this. So the Circle TI is a RESTful, fully featured. Maybe we need like an encoding. Let's see here. So headers, like content type application JSON. So let's do curl here and then -h content type application JSON. Although this is not really content type, this is accepts. Okay, so this is weird. So let me just try something here. And try this URL in the browser. Okay, so it's getting 404. It's getting 404. So let's see why this is getting 404. Let's look at the API documentation. So project and then VCS type. So VCS type is Git. The username, I have it correctly. And then, all right, so let's do something else. Circle CI here. Oh, so it's not Git, it's GitHub. GitHub. All right, this is better. And let's pipe this to JQ. Great, so this is looking good. And then what I want to do is grab the build numbers. So this is builds. All right, so this is body, branch, author, commit, subject, commit URL, and author. So why don't I get, oh, so this is a build. Okay, this is a build. Got it. Okay. So we have a build and a build parameters, and then, and I think they are linking too much information, to be honest. There really are. So it's like it's too dangerous for me to even look at this results. So let's do something here. Let's see what they're leaking. I'm pretty sure they're leaking sensitive information. I think they're leaking. Oh no! Okay. That's just the circle YAML. Okay. So nothing is really sensitive here. So yeah, we have the branch. Okay. So we have a build number. So let's look at the build. What do we have here in terms of? So we have a build number. All right, so let's do this one. So JQ, flatten. Let's do parse array. All right, so JQ, and then we have this. So we can do this and just grab the first one. So this will give us the first one, and then here we can actually do build num. All right, so this gives us all the latest build numbers, and this should actually piped to wc-l should give us nothing because it's not really std out. Okay, so we have all the latest build numbers, and we should have a build status. So let's see if we have a status. So let's do this, and then dot this with status. Okay, so this gives us success, success failed, not run, not run. Okay. So that is interesting. I don't know what this not run is. Twitch. So Pixel Producto. This is an Ergo Docs easy. That's the keyboard. All right, so that's okay. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to start a build for this specific project on Circle CI, and I want to see what they are reporting back. So I'm going to just let's take this one and just rebuild it. Okay, so now we have another build. And oh, we have a running. Great. So we have a running, we have a success, we have a failed, and we have a not run. And I wonder what this not run means. So we're gonna figure it out in a minute. Great. So now that I have things figured out, what I'm going to do is in the project controller, I am going to grab. Oh, so what I need now is something. Oh, I need to traverse this. Okay, so here's what I'm dealing with right now. Okay, so the Circle CI endpoint returns 30 of the latest builds. All right, so we need to search for the first one in the list that matches our branch name. If the branch name is not in the latest 30 builds, this is possible, we are going to report an unknown status. All right. And if the branch is in the latest builds, we are going to report the status of the build. All right. Awesome. So now we need to start an API client here. And that API client will receive the token as an environment variable. And all right, so let's do this. So we have a get all and get build status for branch. So let's start this by starting this in a naive way. All right, so let's do this. So we're going to get a list of all of our projects. All right, so this is, we're going to get a list of all of our projects. And then we have the project name. Okay, so we're going to get the constant of request URL. And this is going to be this. So let's take this. And this is going to be the project.org. And this is going to be the project.name. And here, this is going to come from settings. So let's do this. Or actually, let's do project.vcs. So we will do that. And we will add that to the project as well. So let's do here. And this is going to be VCS. So org change to VCS. All right, so then here, and we're going to change this to VCS. And let's recreate all of our projects then. And in the project.model, we're going to add that as a parameter. All right, cool. So now we have that, and we can add that as a project.vcs. So we have the request URL now. And what we need to do, who followed? MHH something. Oh man, you guys have such hard nicknames. Thank you for the follow. Much appreciated. All right, so now the request URL is actually constructed correctly. And what we need here is the circle token. And we're going to take this from token. All right, so let's do here const token equals to process dot env dot token. All right, so let's get this here and export token and then npm start. Okay, so now we have the token and we have the request URL. By the way, people in the chat room, feel free to ask questions. You don't be shy. Okay, so now we have this as a request URL. So what we need to do is we need to construct an array out of all of our projects. Okay. So we're going to do this. So promise equals to fetch, and this is going to be request URL dot then. And this is going to be response and response.json. And we are going to then do, let me think here. Okay, so I need to think how I want to manage this thing. I'm not sure that is the correct way to do it. Or actually, I'm pretty sure that's not the correct way to do it. So let's do here and create an SRC server models, and let's say project.fetcher.js. And here we're going to create a class called project fetcher. Okay, and it's going to have a constructor, and it's going to have projects in the constructor. And it's going to be this dot projects equals to projects. And then it's going to have a fetch method, which is going to be this. So this dot projects dot map here. And then here we can actually say that this dot token equals to process dot env dot token. And here we're going to do that this is the request URI. Okay. Wait a second. Isn't this constructor? ES6 class. I'm pretty sure it is constructor. Yes, it is constructor. Okay, so it is. Okay, so then this is going to be a get fetch. And let's do this. All right, so this is the request URI is going to be this and project.vcs and this and that. And then this is going to be fetch of request URI. And dot then is going to be response to response.json. All right, and now this is a promise, which is going to return all of our projects. So this is now an array of promises. Okay, so let's do something here. So now here, we're going to import project fetcher from models project.fetcher. Great. And then here, we are going to say export default class of project fetcher. And then here, we are going to say promise.all. And then this is going to be project fetcher dot oh no, so let's do const fetcher equals to new fetcher with the projects. And then this is going to be fetcher dot fetch. So this will return an array of promises dot then And this is going to be results. Okay. And let's just console.log the results here. All right, so let's see what crashed. This.projects.map, got it. So let's change the project.fetcher here. And the map, yeah, this is a fat fingering here. This should be a fat arrow, and this should be a space. So now the app should compile, and it does. All right, cool. So now we need to do this and then export this as a get build status for branch. And in our project routes, we are going to add a get for builds. And this is going to be the get build status for branch. And we also need to add it here. All right, and now everything is working great. And let's take Postman and do projects and builds. Fetcher.fetch is not a function. What do you mean? So get and then fetch. Why? Let's do fetch like so. Oh, we need return. Return here, and then this is get. Well, yes. Okay, so now this is builds. And we get. Oh, we're actually not outputting anything. Yeah, that's good. Okay, so let's do. But it's okay. So let's here in the project controller. Let's do here. Let's do response.json for something, just to get the server responding with something. Okay, but that's not good because that's what I really want. Okay, great. So now we actually need to create another project. So let's go ahead and do that. So we have an org, and now we have a VCS, and the VCS is GitHub. And this is JSON, so let's do that, and we have success true. And if we now get all the builds, aha, token is not defined. Okay, and token should not be defined because it's this dot token. So now the app crashed, and we're gonna send again. What is going on? So let's restart this and do send. So unhandled, promise rejection, fetch is not defined. What are we talking about here? Oh, fetch is not defined here. So this should be fetch all. Wait, import fetch? Why do I need to import fetch? Really? I need to import fetch? I don't think so. Node fetch, is this what I need? A lightweight module that brings Windows fetch to Node.js. All right, so let's add this. So npm add or npm install -- save node fetch. And then we'll do this here. So import fetch from node fetch. Yes. Got it. Got it. Okay, so then this is going to be fetch all, and I need to change it in the project routes because it's Oh no, I need to change it in the project controller because this is a fetch all. Okay, so now again, let's export the token, make sure it is here, and npm start. Right, postman, and send this, and we get nothing. Okay, and that's okay. We should get nothing, but our results is basically undefined. Okay, so should I just return here? Wait a minute. That might be the case. So let's send. And great. Awesome. So we see the results here. And this is exactly what I want. And awesome. So now we can do that. So we can do get latest build for branch. And this is the branch name here. And here we will say, and maybe I will add a model called build. Greetings back from the United States. But I'm originally from Israel, Vincent Gabriel. Right, so get latest build for branch, and then the branch name. And we actually need... Oh, you're not really Israel? Why are you saying that though? Okay. So get latest build for branch, and we need the branch name, and we need the circle response here, which is going to be an object. So this is going to be an array. So let's do builds here. And then here, I either want to return a build. You know what? Let's do that. So import build from Vincent Gabriel. Thank you for the follow. From build.model here. Okay, so shit. I don't know if I like this, but let's do that. And let's create that. So src models, no, server models, and build.model.js. And this is going to be a class build. Export default class build. And here we are going to say that constructor of build object, and this is going to be a get of name here, and get status, and then this is going to be this dot name equals to build object dot so this is going to be name, and then this is going to be name, and this dot status equals to build object dot status. And then here this is going to be return this dot name, and this is going to be return this dot status. All right, cool. So now we have that, and we need to do that, right? So we need to now iterate over our list of projects, and then once we find, iterate through our list of builds, sorry, and then once we find a build that matches our branch name, then we return it. All right? So we can do that with a generator, Or we can do that with a simple like JavaScript loop. What do you guys prefer to see here? Do you prefer like a simple JavaScript loop, or do you want to see how JavaScript generators are constructed and what they even are? Generator, got it. Okay, so let's do a generator. So let's create a generator. Let's try generator. Great. So let's do a generator here, and we will create a function of here get build with branch name here. And then this is going to be branch name and builds. So let's do that. And I don't remember if it's like this function or this function. So I don't remember the syntax, but we're going to find out pretty soon. But I'm not sure. All right, so then this is going to be const build, which is going to be the get build with branch name, and then branch name and builds dot next. All right, so then this is going to be our generator, and this is going to be all right, so so it's probably this. Wait. Generator node JS. Yes, that's what I'm thinking. So we'll see. What is a generator? So yeah, it's a function this. So bubble generators. Syntax generator. I don't want an async generator. Right, where is this? Okay, so function. Yeah, that's all I need. So why is this oh, it might not be able to do it as a member of the class. So let's do that. So I think it's just not being constructed that way. So yes, I think that's going to be the thing. All right, so now here we're going to do builds. Let's do 4. And what is going on? Len equals builds dot length. Great. So now this is going to be build dot length, and then here if builds let build, and then this is going to be this, and builds I, and then if current build dot, and what do we have here in the response? So I'm going to look at the response here real quick. We probably have a branch name, committer name, author, branch. All right, so this is current build dot branch. Current build dot branch equals to branch name. Then we are going to yield the build. All right, so then the build is going to be the next in the generator. And for fun, all right, so now let's do this is going to be the build object. And then we're going to say that const, so return new build, and the name Oh, wait a second. All right, so let's do that. So this is going to be the project name and then branch name. So build is going to be project name and build object. Okay, so that's a lot of code. Yeah, I know. So I'll do that. I'll do that in a minute. I'll refactor this for loop. It's just my Vim like autocomplete for loop. So I just went with it. All right, here. And now here we are going to say that build is fetcher dot get latest. What happened? Oh, I moved to the latest one. Okay. Get latest build from branch, and then this is going to be what? Fetcher dot fetch all, then results. Oh, wait a second. So I need that for each of my results. Oh, this is becoming a hassle. Okay, so let's do this. Const build is going to be an array. Okay, and then we are going to return the builds as a JSON. All right, and then we are going to say that results dot map and result here, and I forgot a fat arrow again. Okay, so I forgot a fat arrow again. Yeah, I do have experience with Vue.js. Let's try generator. Is that your everyday keyboard? Yes, this is my everyday keyboard. I have one at home and I have one at work. Any experience with Vue.js? Yes, I do. Hey man, not Q. Welcome back. How are you, man? And Optium 1997. Yes, you can ask me anything. Feel free. So our results. Wait a minute. So then this is projects, and fetcher is a list of projects. And then each of my results is actually one project. Okay, and that one project doesn't have the name. So I can't really get the name of the project. So body, committer, commit URL, branch, subject. Yes, I don't have the name of the project. I don't have the name of the project here. So let's see here. The fetch all is this. So, okay. So what we're going to do is I'm going to return a new promise here. And this is going to have a resolve and reject. All right. And then here I'm going to fetch this. All right. Dot then result. Awesome. And then I'm going to resolve this with a name. And this is going to be the project. And a result, which is going to be the result of the return. So now here, our promise.all, actually the results has the project name in it. So I don't need the project name. So then I can pass the project name here. Awesome. So now here we can say this. So const project name equals to, oh man, what did I want? So then results. Great. So then result.map result. And then this one is build. And this is going to be the fetcher and result dot name and then branch name. And then the result dot result. I don't really like this. All right, and then build dot push build. This is probably not gonna work, but let's give it a shot. Okay, return new promise, resolve reject. What? Return new promise and then resolve and reject. What? Unexpected. Okay, so let's see here. So this is this one, and then return new promise and resolve and reject. What am I missing here? What am I missing? So new promise. Okay. So it's this. And then here, fat arrow. And where is the promise? Here. So here. Satisfied? Okay. Dot then. Again? Come on, man. How many times am I going to forget the fat arrow? It's like getting ridiculous. All right. So cool. So now let's go to Postman and see our builds. And fetcher is not defined. So let's see here. Here. So fetcher. And yes, this is a typo. Fetcher. And let's send. Cannot set property name of. Okay, wait a second. Name. So return new build and project name and build object. Type error, cannot set property name of build which has only a getter. Well, I'm not trying to set a name. So this is return new build and const build is fetcher dot get less thing. Oh, okay. So let's do here. So build dot model here. So this is dot name and this is dot status and this is going to return this and this. All right. So now let's send. Builds is not defined. All right. So then here. So const builds equals to this. And then send. All right. So we get something, which is not what we wanted to get. Yeah, not Q. What's going on? How's your wife doing? How's the accident? I mean, the accident results more than anything, really. Okay, so what happened here? What did we actually get from this thing? So I think what we got is like this project.listing. It's like something weird. Yeah, we definitely got something weird. So the name, so this is build, and build is project name, build object, yield build, and then build object. Oh, got it. So this is current build. So now send. Well, we got the same thing, which is weird. Right, so now build is going to be project name and so current build is builds I. So I want to see what this current build is. Okay, so body is, wait, this is weird. So fetcher.fetch all dot then results, and then something is weird here. So fetch all returns a new promise, and then here we have the branch name, and then so this is not the builds actually. This is the build object here already. So so console.log and build object, and let's see what's coming back here. Why did the app crash? Build object. Build. Oh, got it. So this cannot be. So let's do builds. Okay, and then do here builds. All right, send. And let's see what's going on in the builds here. Okay, so builds is actually what I want. So this is actually what I want. Is this not an array? It definitely should be an array. So, okay. So yeah, okay. Response, status code, get. Where is this thing? Okay, it should be here. Great. So there it is. Yeah, it's an array. So compare. Okay, so this is an array. So then this, let's do for loop node. There's like for in, for blah blah blah. That's not what I want. Come on, man. Man. For in node. Yep. Okay. So here we'll do for build in builds. Current build in builds. And then we're going to do this. And then if current build.branch equals to branch name, then yield this. And then the build object, so console.log, and let's build the object here. So for, and then here, and then we're missing the function here. Okay. Awesome. So let's go ahead and send. And what am I missing? The app crashed, build object. All right. What's the problem with the build object? Unexpected token. All right, cool. So now send. Okay, and I'm getting the same thing, which is definitely not what I expect to get. Okay, so then here, this is the response, and then this is the get latest build, and then we have the result.name and result.result. So here, the builds are what I want. And here, oh, okay, so here, get build with branch name, and this is builds here. Okay, so the build object is for some reason not what I expect. Okay, so I think this is, oh, wait. It returns a function. All right, so this is next. And Postman, send. Okay, current build is not defined. Awesome. So current build. For current build, so where is current build not defined? For current build in this. So now we're getting somewhere. If current build dot branch. So this is this, and then I'm gonna yield the current build. So where is it not defined exactly? Okay, so this is now the build. So let's do here. Awesome. And console.log current build. Okay, send. Okay, so this is not, the for loop here is not working correctly. So why? All right, so this is not what I want. Oh, do I need like let here? Okay, great. Not that this improved anything, but okay. And then let's print out the build object. Awesome. And now this is our build project. So we have the body, and then, oh, value is 0, done, false. What? What? Okay, 1 second. So here we have a next. By invoking next generator, it will execute up until it hits the next yield keyword or returns. Now you have the console output. So this is exactly what I want here. So this is exactly what I want. And then here, this is the build object. And this is going to be here. So now let's go Postman and send this. And this is what we get. Value of 0 done is false. This is odd. So the yield should we do this? Oh, this is getting weird. Okay, so let's see. So we're getting value of 0 and then the response. So for varlet current build in builds. So let's do here current console.log current build.branch and then console.log and the branch name. All right, so this should print useful information. Okay, this explains it. Right, so here this is branch name build, and then here this is console.log branch name and builds. So something is off. Okay. Okay, so fetcher.fetch all, and then get latest for this. Oh, I know. Oh man, I'm stupid. Okay, so then this is this, and here we need the branch name here because this is not the body. So the branch name is not in the body, and the token shouldn't even be here. And then this is branch name equals develop. Okay, so then this one, and here we can do request.query.branch name. So then const branch name equals request.query.branch name, like so. And then send here. Send. Okay, so now we should have a branch name and we have develop, but this is undefined, which means that our builds don't have a branch, and they should, because there definitely is. So let's look at the current build.branch. So that is undefined. So let's print the current build. So now we will get a lot of output, but okay, so we're still not getting our current build. Oh, wait a second, we're getting 8 here. In our current build, we're getting like 8. Wait a second, am I mixing this thing? Man, this is getting ridiculous. But okay, let's do send. Okay, and now what do we get? We get the build. Awesome. And now I don't need the build anymore. I just need the branches. And let's do send. And now we still get something. So let's remove this and this and send our request. Okay, so now we get develop, develop, develop. But we should really only get one. Okay, so now here. Oh no, but this is just one. So console.log build object here. Okay, something is off. Okay, so this is one build. So that's should be working fine now. And then this one is so we have the build, which is get latest build, result.name, and then branch name. So this should be the project name, and this should be the build object. And the build object should have a status. So let's do this. And let's say that this is the new build here. And now we're getting somewhere. So now we can do console.log of build and return the build. All right, so let's do that. Great. And let's look at the build. Awesome. So now we have a build and okay. Okay, so build and then the status is undefined. So that's not what we want. So let's look at what do we have here. Oh, so status should be success. So then the build object here. Okay, now I got it. So build object.status should definitely not be undefined. And the build project name. So then we have a name. Oh, so this is actually a project. Okay. So this is not project name, but project. So project, and then this is results. And name equals project.name. And now we should get this in a better structure. And we do, so name is Fermina, and we actually don't need this. Okay, and then now we get this, great, but the status is not coming in. So let's take the status as like the build object and kind of try to inspect it. And status is, what is this value thing? So that's not what I want. Oh. Okay, so then got it. That's it. I got it. And then this next here, and then dot value here. This is what we want. So send, and then we get the status of success. Awesome. So that is working. And at this point, it would be a good idea to add these Working, build structure, and project model. Okay, great. And now we can actually do something else, and we can post a new project, and let's call this project Sticks. And this is all projects that we have on Circle CI, and we should now get this like success and this is success, and then we can add another project, and let's call this Oscar, and send it, and let's get, and bam. All right, cool. So now this is working, and we have the projects model, we have the list, and we have the build status for the projects. So we are getting to a point where we can really start working with that in our client side, which is good, which is what we want. So let's push our master. Why is this doing pre-push? Why is this doing a pre-push? npm rc here, this one, so arm-f here, and then vim, let's open .git here, and we probably have hooks that we don't want, so let's take hooks. Yeah, probably. So let's check our hooks. Right, so then prepare push, so probably in pre-push we have something. Command exist, npm, yeah, husky, can't find npm path. All right, cool. So we don't want any of those. rm-f.get hooks. This. Yes, I'm sure. Dot npm rc git commit -m remove npm rc git push origin master. Okay, so now we can look at that GitHub. Where is it? Here. All right, so you guys can check out the GitHub project. It's completely open source, like everything. Yeah, so let's add a README here, and Circle CI radar. Let's add that as a README, which is fine for now. Creating README, and then let's commit this and pull it in. Okay, great. Okay, so now, and here, so we can add the default VCS and default org, but we're gonna add those later. For now, we'll require adding those. Okay, so now project.save.then, awesome. All right. Where are we now? So now we have the server. We can add projects, and we can see the project status. What I do want is here in the build object. Oh, this is annoying. What did this? I don't even know what did this. But this is annoying. So then this dot status, and then this dot build num equals to build object dot build num. And we can get that in the build as well. So let's do it this. This is going to be this dot build num. All right, so it's not build num. What is it then? It is build num. Oh, but it's build object. Okay. So here, and then this is going to be build object. Okay, so let's do this with Postman and send, and still no. Build object dot build num. So that's a build num for sure. So we have the status, and we have the build num. Okay. Oh, something happened here with the npm start. Okay, so this one. Okay, great. So now we have the build num. Awesome. Awesome, 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 awesome. Okay, so now that we have that, src git commit -m, adding a build number to the project, to the build output. And let's push this. All right, so now I need a bit of a break. Not that I'm going to leave you here, but I needed a bit of a break. So does anybody have questions about what we did so far? General question about like the development process. Just I need a break here, so I need some questions. All right, so now we can actually go ahead and get started with our client. And our client, we're gonna start building it with React and Redux, and probably Bootstrap. So we'll see how that goes. All right, how many people do we have live right now? I know I ask that question a lot, but I really don't know. Where is channel here? Okay, we have 10. All right, so how do people feel about Angular these days? I think all people, including myself, are pretty pissed yet. And wait a second, I'm climbing. Sorry about that. All right, I'm gonna continue to answer from the second story, like from the second story. And so I think there's a lot of confusion in like the Angular community. I know, at least for me, that what is Angular, Angular 2, Angular 4, where did 3 go? So for me, there's like a lot of confusion, and I think it's like for the general community. Wait, you have a fancy standing desk? Yes, I do. It's actually almost brand new. I got it, I think a couple weeks ago. And yeah, I really, really like it. It's like the cheapest one available. And it's this one. It's a Smart Desk 2, I think. Yeah, it's this one. So it's like the cheapest one. I didn't get any fancy like things. So it's this one. $299 and free shipping, or it's actually like $39 of shipping. I got it in like 3 or 4 days. Assembly is ridiculously easy, and so far it's working great. And I said it before on the stream, but I was worried about how much weight it can pull up because I have an iMac. So this, like in front of me, is a 27-inch iMac, which is not light, and I have another 24 screen like here on the left side, and I also have that like Dell 30-inch, which is like extremely heavy. It's like basically like one of my kids heavy, it brings up everything. No problem at all. I'm building new dev end for a project. Sorry for not chatting. No problem. Lost cause. You grew 2 feet in 10 seconds. Yes. What's the maker? I said, just watch the amount of weight you put on it. Yes, I do. It's not, there is not a lot of weight on it. But yeah, and this Dell monitor there is, I think from 2010. I paid a ridiculous amount of money on it back then. It's still an amazing, amazing screen. Just amazing. So yeah. Okay, so now let's go ahead and do that. Someone asked, will you write tests? Acidic mushroom, yes, I probably will. I don't know how many. I probably could have saved myself a lot of time with the tests on the generator, but I didn't like go into it yet, so we're gonna do it now. Okay, so for the React client, let's start with I'm not big on resolution, by the way. So they came out with 3840 over 1600. So I want to show you something. So let's do displays here. So this one, you see this? So let's do, I don't know, scaled. So you see this one goes all the way up to 5120 over 2880. So this is the 5K iMac. And as you can see, I'm just comfortable with the 2560 over 1440. And the other is just too small. They're just too small. So I'm not big on, hey, I have a 3840 over like something. It doesn't really matter. Like what for above something, above some resolution, it just gets too small. And no matter how big the screen is, this is a 27, that one is a 30, whether it's a 34 or whatever, you always sit in the same proximity to the screen. So it doesn't really matter, at least, in my book. 2560 over 1600 is the most I will go to. They came out, yes. Is React the future? I think it is. I'm on a MacBook Air. You don't have to convince me. Yeah, I didn't have a MacBook Air. I never had a MacBook Air. I have a Pro there, and I have a Pro at work as well. So I always like ended up with Pros. Never had an Air. But yes, MacBooks all the way. Yes, React is great. So what we're going to do is we are going to do the React app with like create React app. I never really used it, so it's time to use it. Create React app, my app, and then npm start. Okay, so let's do this. Here, npm install create React app. And then create React app, my app. And what else? All right, so this is going to create the React app. And then I'm basically going to copy it to the place I want. So let's open this here. And let's cd React. Oh, it's my app. And open this here. Awesome. And where's the other one? All right, so here's the other one, and here's the React app. So this is the client. Let's close this and this one. And let's take the public and the src and the package.json and the git ignore. I don't need the yarn.lock. Okay, great. Circle, CI, radar, client. All right, so let's do npm install. Created a log file. What happened? rm-f package.lock.json. So then npm install. What's going on? Oh, I didn't copy everything that I needed. Yeah, I didn't copy the package.json here. rm-f package lock npm install. Okay. Okay. So I need to go grab some water. So let me go grab some water and let's do back in a minute. All right, I'm going to be back in a minute, people. I need to grab some water. Okay, I am back. So let's see this create React app thing. What did it create for us? So we have an app CSS. We have the test. We have the index.js. And in our package, what is start? All right, so start is React scripts for start. Okay, so we have a register service worker here, which is nice. We have an index.css. So we have the app and then render. Okay, so let's start this. And this should start here. And failed to compile. That's great. Failed to load plugin, ESLint plugin import. Didn't I do npm install? I did. So what's the issue? Okay, that's great. Thank you, Facebook. So let's do package.json, React script, start. Okay, so then this one, do we need to build first? So npm build. Build call without arguments. Okay. ESLint plugin import. Oh, I think this is ESLint like local. So no, it's like ESLint is this create React app, man. Come on. Oh man. Come on. Create React app, and then we have the packages, ESLint config. Wait a second. What is this packages thing? Okay, wait a minute. So here, ES6, ESLint. Okay, so here in the node module, ESLint. So seems like here we have more. That's not very encouraging, to be honest. And let's do yarn start here after yarn ran. So let's do yarn start. Okay, what? Like literally. What? Okay, anyway. Anyway, let's go ahead and continue here. At least something worked. Okay, so let's do public. You guys saw that, right? Like npm install and npm start didn't work, and then literally with yarn, it worked. So what? I mean, what? Man, JavaScript. Man. Probably npm is busted. All right, so then React DOM.render. So what we want to do is we want to add Redux to this app. So let's add Redux to this app. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and look at one of my other Redux application. This is the open source, so let's look Fullstack network, cd open source, full stack network, and let's look at the Pomodori client Electron here. Great. So for app.js, so we need to add, so here in our packages.json, so we need, so let's do yarn add React router and yarn add React router Redux and yarn add React Redux. All right, so now let's go to our index.js and let's import. So we have React DOM. So we're gonna do this here and we're gonna import those. So we're gonna import provider, React Redux, and this one. And we're gonna create the store and then React DOM.render. And provider, router, and then history, and routes is going to be routes. All right, so let's look at our routes here. All right, so let's create routes.js and paste this. And let's import app from app. We don't need the login page. And then the path is this index route and this. So this is going to be for now. And we don't need that one. And root element is document.getElementById. Let's look at our index.html. And this is going to be root. So document.current script. So document.getElementById root here. Okay, so now Circle CI. Radar client. So let's do yarn start and see where we are with errors. Let's look at our console. Failed to compile. Great. Configure store is not defined. Awesome. So configure store is not defined. So let's go ahead and see why. Oh, store. All right. So store.js. So let's do src store.js. Save this. So hash history, React middleware, Redux. I don't need local storage. Thunk, great. Router middleware, hash history. Action creators, reducers. Okay, push and then routing. Great. Awesome. So now the middleware is going to be the thunk and the router, and then compose Redux and configure store. Awesome. So we should be able to do yarn start now, and let's see where it gets us. It still says that configure store is not defined, although it clearly is. So src index.js configure. Oh, I didn't import it. So let's do that. Import configure store from store. And does this not hot reload? Great. And then routes. All right. So then import routes from routes. Refresh. Persist. Persist. Persist state. I don't need persist state. Okay. Can't resolve Redux in. Okay, great. So now yarn add Redux. All right. So here. Map. What? Fresh. Can't resolve Redux thunk. All right. Another one. Yarn add Redux thunk. This is starting to be annoying. React router does not contain hash history. What? Hash history from React router. React router does not contain an export named hash history. React router hash history. Well, I don't need a hash history. I need a push state more than anything, really. Is it hash router? Hash router? So here is hash router. Okay, so router middleware. All right, so React router middleware. Can I write it with more mistakes? All right, so router middleware, push middleware, router middleware, and then apply middleware. All right, so we have, that's what I need. I need the browser history. Yeah, that one, the browser history. Browser history, that's what I need. All right, so now it's compiling. Well, all right, got it, but I'm not doing it anymore. What is going on? Do I need to rebuild, really? Where am I even calling hash history? Oh, here? Why am I calling this twice? This is stupid. All right, come on. Oh, this is annoying. Browser history, router, route, browser history. Man, what is going on? Is it like not exactly like in this documentation? I mean, come on. All right. Package, JSON, router. So 4.1.2. Right. So React router, browser history. So browser history is clearly here, but it's clearly not working. So React router Redux, router middleware. So everything is here. And then src index, browser history. So this one is here. This repo is React Router Redux 4 point. So React Router. React Router. Okay, React Router. And let's look at the docs. And let's look at web. Browser history. What? Okay, so router is router. We have the route and switch. Like every time you start a JavaScript project, it's like insanely painful. Every single time, man. Every single time. Browser, history, React, router. You have to import it from history module now. Create browser history from history. What is history? Sync. No, man. I mean, seriously, fire copy. This is, and this is every single time. I'm telling you, like every single time. It's just like it's just crazy. All right, so I'm gonna fuck this here, and then router history. So I'm not gonna worry about the history here. And then I'm gonna remove this. Does not contain browser history. So now this is in store.js history. So I'm gonna remove this and router. So we're not gonna have a router middleware. And then we don't need to create this here. So can we now see something working? Yeah, there is no browser history export in v4. I saw that. Cannot read properties. Oh my goodness, man. This is insane. Oh man. Cannot read property location of undefined. Great. All right, so we need to cause this here. All right, so now migrating. Browser history, browser history. This is in v3. Great. And v4. With React v4, one of the big changes is the number. Create history object for you. The browser router creates a browser history. The hash router creates a hash history. And the memory router creates a memory history. Oh man, oh my goodness. Like talk about like an unnecessary complication. Alright, so this one is gonna be with the browser router and browse router. Browser router, what? Yes, no. One thing to note is that the router component must only be given one child element. Okay. Browser router. Alright. So here, let's do this. And router, so this is a browser router. And here, this is a browser router. And routes. Does not include browser router. All right. My goodness, my goodness. The router migrating React router v2. All right, React router. Oh my goodness. Browser router. React router DOM. Great. So import here, and then this is going to be this from DOM. My God, man. Oh my God. Like this is the JavaScript fatigue right there. Like right here. This is JavaScript fatigue. Great. React router does not contain browser history, so now we're back here. Browser history here and here and here. And router, great. So let's do this. All right, nothing is working. Great, awesome, amazing. This is exactly what I wanted. All right, so this one, and then routes here, and path. And what did we have here? We have an index route. So component is app. I could have. Oh man, React router does not contain an index route. My God. Index, memory router, redirect, route. All right, route, and then route path, component, initial index. Okay, so why doesn't the app render? Because it should render the app component. Yet it doesn't. So the body and root, and yes, it's empty. So let's look at v4. And we have a route. So we have a route. Route path and component. What is happening? So app is here, and app.js is a component, and it has a render function. Dude, this is like JS fatigue at its finest, seriously. It's like, what is going on, man? I just want to render a component on the page. Ugh. All right, so route path and then children. Oh my God. Are you kidding me? All right, so a router that uses HTML5 history API. So we have a base name and stuff like that. And then we have the app. And what I don't understand is like, where do the path fit in? So you see like this route path component something. Where does this fit in? Fading route, like stupid shit like that. Where does this fit in? My God, man. All right. So I'm really close to like pulling the plug on this and just do whatever. All right, so this one, router. Right, so then basic. So we have a route path. Okay. So here in index.js, we have a browser router. Okay. Now let's go to the browser router. And then the browser router, we have a base name and we have a get confirmation. And then we have something here. And that something can be our app. So let's do that. And browser router. And we don't have routes here. So routes. So do we need like routes like this as a child of browser router? This will likely not work. Oh, it does. Okay, so that's what I thought. Okay, great. So then here, let's put this here because it can only include one route. Okay, great. So let's do that. Great. Awesome. So, whew, I need a drink. My God. Okay. So true. So true. Sad and true at the same time. It's like setting up a project, man. Whew. Okay. So now let's go to Bootstrap. Bootstrap CSS. And let's look at the components here. We should have cards. Who cares about glyphs? Okay. Components. Yeah, Bootstrap 4 is coming. We heard. Okay, so do I want... Yeah. Well, if I put the browser a little bit wider, then it's just like my webcam is right, so drop downs. Man, I don't care about that. Responsive, I don't care. Panels, basic. Okay, so we can actually use that. So we can actually use like a panel for this. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started here. All right, so what we're going to do, so let's look at our at store here and reducers. All right, so combine reducers and then reducers, and here we have routing. Okay. Great. So let's look at this. So we're going to make dir-p src, and we're going to call this features. And then we're going to create an src features, and we're going to call this build screen. No. And so let's make dir dash p src features build screen. And then src features build screen, and let's create an index.js here. Okay, so now in our build screen, what we want to do is essentially have one of these panels for our projects. Right, so we have a panel of primary and success and info and warning and danger. Great, so we can actually work with that. Okay. Twitch. Hi, I'm a coder and I'm a C coder, and basically I want to start learning more about JS. I know the basic and some APIs, but for the project I need to learn React and Node.js. So you are a web developer, and do you recommend to start learning? What do you recommend to start learning first? So I don't know Eloquent JavaScript, but I actually read Eloquent Ruby. And if it's as good as Eloquent JavaScript, I definitely recommend it. And the mom, who was that recommended it? The mummy writer or whatever. It will make the directory for the current file you have in the buffer. Oh, that's great. Great. Thank you for that Vim tip. All right, so what do we want here? So we want, let's create a comp index here. And we need, I don't care about the bind action creators. And I don't care about so we're going to import like fetch build status from actions, and then our component name will be build screen, and then here we're gonna do build screen. All right, so now here we're going to do this, features, build screen, and presenter. Great. Awesome. So what do we actually want here? First, what I want is to go to our index.html, and I want to import the Bootstrap CSS. And let's grab this from the CDN. Right, so latest compiled and minified, optional theme, and let's compile and minify JavaScript. Great, so let's grab this. And grab this into our public index.html. So I don't really care about any of these. All right, so that is this, and then let's grab the JavaScript from that as well and put it like right there. Okay, great. Let's do that and close this. All right. So now we have Bootstrap. And we can say that, all right, so let's take that the action will be load. And this would be branch name. And this would be fetch. So let's do here dispatch and fetch build status with the branch name. All right, and then const build equals to state. All right, cool. So now we're gonna do that, and then we are going to create src features build screen, and we're gonna call this action.js, and let's call this action, and we're gonna call this fetch build status with the branch name. And this is going to return a function that has a dispatch here. And then I don't really care about the action types right now. But let's do that here. Great. And here, what we are going to do is basically fetch from HTTP localhost. So let's do that. So this is going to be HTTP localhost, and I think it's 4040, and API projects builds, and then branch name equals to branch name. All right. Dot then, and this is going to be response to response.json. Results. Why did I do that? Why did I do that? So this is results, and this is going to be here. And this is going to be here. Great. And then we are going to dispatch this. And name is going to be, I don't know, like new builds for now. We're going to extract that in a minute. And then builds equals to results. All right. And now we are going to create an src features build screen, and we're going to call this reducer.js. Awesome. And this is going to be builds, and here it's going to do that, and we're going to return the state. All right. And then if action.type, and this is not name, this is type, stupid me, type. So if action.type equals to new builds, then return builds as action.builds. Otherwise, return the state. Okay, so now let's go to our src store. We're going to use switch in a minute. I'm going to refactor all of this. By the way, I almost never use switch statements because my reducers are basically dedicated for one action. But you will see that in a minute. So now we're going to import builds from features build screen reducer. And then this is going to be built. All right, let's see how much did we fuck this up. Okay. All right, doesn't seem like a lot, but who knows? Oh, it's not actually connected yet, but we should see that in our Redux here. So if we look at our state, we should see builds, and that is great. All right, cool. And actually, though, the initial state should only be this. And then this should return action.builds, like so. And then our state will be cleaner. Yes, and builds is just this. Great. Awesome. So now, let's look at our index. So build screen. So now our src here, index.js and routes, instead of app, so this is going to be the build screen from features build screen, and this is going to be build screen as our index. So now when I refresh, I should see blank. And let's look at the build screen index. Import this as actions, fetch build status. That's not what I want. So this is what I want. Fetch build status from actions. Awesome. So now in our build screen presenter, let's do component did mount, like so, and we are going to this dot props dot load, and the branch name, let's make it develop. Oops, what did I do? This dot props dot load, and the branch name is going to be develop. Okay. Now what happened? Actions may not have an undefined type. Actions here, dispatch. Oh, yes. Yes, type. Didn't I fix this? I remember I did. Okay, cool. So now we see that our state here is filled with the project. So we have a name and we have all of this. So this is great. And what we can do is we can create a panel. So let's look at components and panel. And I don't know if panel is the right choice for this, but for now that's fine. And I wonder if the panel has a width. So we can actually do this. Okay, so let's go to build screen presenter. And what we are going to do is, let's say that this class name equals to builds container. And we're going to create those styles in a minute. And then here, we are going to say that this dot props dot builds dot map, and then this is going to be build. And then we are going to return this dot render build with the build, like so. All right, now let's do render build and build. Awesome. And now here we are going to create a new component. So src feature build screen, we're going to create a build.js, and it's going to be a component. So simple comp. So it's going to be a functional component. So this is going to be a build. And then this is just going to have a panel in it. All right, so now let's do class to class name. And then this is going to be prop.name. And let's leave it as a panel footer for now. I think it's fine. And here we're going to return a build with build. Right? No, not right. This should be this, I think. So, or should this be render? No, I think this should be return. Okay, build is not defined, so let's import build from build. Okay, where is our app? Uncaught. What is going on? Okay, here is our builds. So we have this, we have this. Awesome. So our thing is starting to look good. And now we are going to say that this all right, and here we're going to wrap this with interpolated string. And this will be a function that is going to be get class name for props.status. And then we're going to have function get class name for status. And here we can actually return. So let's look at the body. All right, so the title is success. So let's return the status. And what should happen now is that we should have green all over the place, which we don't. So first thing first, we don't have a key. So this key is build.name. So that's first. And the second is that we don't have a class here. So this is the panel body. Wait, what? So no, above this. Oh, here. So this should be this. Stupid me. And then now what? So panel success. So why doesn't this give us the success panel? Why isn't this green? Oh, okay. I see why. I see why. So something with the structure here is not good. So this is the panel body. So the panel title wait a second. So where is this coming from? So let's inspect element here and see how this is defined. Where is our panel? All right, so we have a panel heading. Great. So let's look at this one. So we have a panel heading here. Great. So this should be the heading. And then here we should have the body. So let's change this. And now we see our builds are starting to look Nice. Now I want the panel to have the width. So let's look at the grid here for a minute. Grid. Great. Default, blah, blah, blah. So we need this. So call XS 3, let's say. 3. All right, so let's do that. Great. Awesome. So I don't care for the footer. So let's remove that. And why is this rendering like in a weird way like this? Why is this rendering in a weird way? So does this have a padding? Let's look at our CSS. So padding. All right. And let's do that. So you're saying row. Okay, where is this component? Grid. Call XS. So yes, so this one has a row. But no, that doesn't explain it. So now there are in a row, all of them. And then we have this one. So maybe we need to wrap this like so. So call XS3 here. And then put the panel inside of this div. Okay, that looks much better. Okay, so now we have this. And it looks okay. I wouldn't say that it's one of my best works, but it looks okay. So let's do that. So git add this and git st -m build screen is working as expected. Functional. Git push. Okay, so now we have this. And how many people do we have like live on Twitch right now? Twitch channel. Oh, 16. All right. So if you have any questions, please let me know. If you enjoy the content, hit the follow button here, like somewhere. Oh, I can't follow my own channel, but hit the follow button if you enjoy the content. And if you have questions or comments, then please let me know. Okay, so now need to get the API dashboard call. What do you mean? That this is running with the API. I'm not really sure what are you referring to. So let's look at actions here. One thing that I don't like is having this as like here. And definitely one thing I don't like is having this as this one. So let's do import new builds from action types. All right, so src features build, and let's do action types JS and export this. And I need to spell export correctly, and new build is going to be new build. Great. So now this one, and this is going to be new builds. What? What is going on? Wait a second. What? You mean this red light? Oh, the API dashboard call for the Twitch viewer account. Yeah, I definitely need that. So player find this this red light is look at this, right? So let's open up like Vim here and look at what I'm typing, right? So I have E and R here, all right? So I type ER, 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 right? And then I keep typing ER, but when I hit the red button, those are curly braces. And same below, so D and F. And then they become parentheses. And then C and V become like square brackets. So basically, there are layers in the keyboard. So as you can see, Q is Q. But when I hit the red button, it's equals. And A is a dash. And Z is an underscore. And basically, all of my keyboard is completely changed when I hit that button. So that is what it is. What is going on now? Unexpected token, expected this. How do I remember? It's just muscle memory. I don't remember. It's just muscle memory, man. It's like, how do you remember? You know, I'm like not looking at my keyboard when I'm typing. Okay. So what is happening here? So you're saying I can wrap this here and then it will export this? No. No, this is reserved for exporting multiple symbols, I think. No, export is just an object. So this is the key for the object. So X should work here. But it doesn't. What? I don't get it. All right, so let's do this. And then do const new build equals to new builds. And then export new builds. You see? Twitch. Did you program a script for your keyboard red light shortcuts, or is that a packaged product? It needs a name unless it's default, if I recall. All right, so first let me answer that keyboard. So ErgoDocs Easy is my keyboard. And it comes with this graphical configurator. So let's do this graphical configurator here. And you can actually configure layers. So as you can see, this is like the normal keyboard. You have the space, and you can program all of this. There's a little like chip in here where you can just flash it. It's basically like a really, really small Arduino. And then you have layer 1, which is basically what happens when you hit this. And you have 3 layers. So what you don't see is that there are 3 lights here. All right, so let's do export default. Oh, and then this is this. Okay, got it. So basically, as you can see, you can program this, and I just basically changed this. So this for me is like a different key, so you can hit this, and you can also say that one key can do 2 things. So you can say that this does, I don't know, something. And you can say that this is command and enter or command and space and like different things like that. So it's not something that I created, but I programmed my things. Export and name, new build. So this isn't good because I need this to be so you see it's like it's does not contain exported name new builds. All right, so let's do that. So export const new builds. And let's do that. Export const new build, and that's about it. And then we're gonna have new builds here, and let's have the reducer here, and we're gonna import the same thing from action types, and then here if the type is going to be just new builds. Okay, so then everything should still just work. So if you refresh, everything just still works, which is exactly what we want. And here in our build.js, what I want here is the props.build num. Oh, sorry. So here I want the build num. Okay. All right. So from here, what I want is an href. So a href for HTTP. And let's see what is this. Circle CI and all right, cool. So let's do this. So this is going to be where is this? Here. Great. So this is going to be this. circleci.com. And then this is going to be GH. And then this is going to be props.org. And then props.name. And then props.build num. All right, so then this is the build number, and let's close this. Okay, as usual, I forget, and this should be here. Great, so now this should give us the things. So we do undefined, and then here this is props.org. And this is props.name, and this is props.buildNum. Right, so then great. And now in our server, what I want to do is send the org down as well. So let's look at the build.model here. And we're going to say this .org equals to build object dot, and let's see if we have the organization here. This would be the best. Oh, actually, what we can do is we can probably send the link down, which is gonna be the best. So let's see what we have here. So I'm looking for. Okay, so we have the commit URL. We should have the build URL as well. But I don't see that. Okay, we have a build URL. Great. So let's do this. This dot URL equals to build object dot build URL. So let's send this down to the client. And then here, instead of doing all of this bullshit, we can just grab props.url. And let's see that. Awesome. So this is the build URL. And here, we need the props.commit URL. And this is commit. All right, so let's do browse commit. And in our server, let's send this down as well. So then S is build to commit and G. And here, let's say commit URL. And then here, build URL. Oh, the other way around. So this is build URL and this is commit URL. And now let's go to the client and change that. So this is build and this is browse commit. Okay, so let's refresh and something is wrong. What happened? What? All right, let's look at the server here. So we have a commit URL and we have a build URL. Oh, okay. Build object. Okay. All right. So refresh. Great. So this is obviously this doesn't look good, but it's functional. And one thing I want to do here is this is just a simple like JavaScript object. There is nothing crazy about it. And what I can do really is I can make this even simpler, but we can do that later. What did I want to do here? I wanted to do something. Okay, so this one, we can do this. So where is the client? So this is the client. So let's look at build here. And we can say this. If status equals to failed, then we can return danger, which is going to be the CSS class. No, it's just my preference. This is the build.model is actually from the server side. So this is the server and this is the client. So the build.model is actually on the server side, not on the client side. All right, so if status is failed, then we're going to return danger here. And if status is running, then we are going to return something. Let's see what we're going to return. So we are going to return like this blue thing. So we're going to return info. All right. And then if the status is not run, then we are going to return a warning. And now we have a good thing. So what I'm going to do now is I am going to build one of these projects. And so I'm going to rebuild it. And what we should get. All right. So you can see now this project is running. All right. So you can actually see that the project is running. And even if I refresh as the project is running, this is going to be re-rendering as the project is running. So you can actually see that it's already working on the server side and already working on the client side. I'm not really happy with the way it looks, but it's okay for now. So let's UL this and UL here, and then here let's LI and LI, and then we're gonna put this here, and then here, and then here, 3 down, yank, and then 6 up, 3 down, paste. Great. All right. Working. Roboctocat. This is what we're working on today. All right. So this is this. We can do that. We can remove this and save it and refresh. And it looks even worse. It looks even worse. But okay. All right. So now here, let's take 10 lines down. 10 lines down and replace all of the equal sign with triple equals, so this will not complain. And build.js, we don't really need component here. Okay, and we don't really need React DOM as well, to be honest. And here we don't really need React DOM as well. Useless constructor, you're right, so we don't need the constructor here, so let's remove that. Okay. Okay, so now this. -m, and then more styling for the build screen. Awesome. Oh, it's 9 p.m. Shit. Okay. So how is it 9 p.m.? My goodness. Okay, so then here, let's say that this is here. Awesome. You're getting automated. I actually automated it, so that's okay. src git commit -m, and let's do some formatting, and then git push. All right, so okay, so basically what I want to do now is just one thing, and I'm done with this. So we can look at the build screen here, and look at the presenter, really all I want now is just a search here. So div class name. So let's do this here, and then here div class name, and paste this in. All right, and let's take it 5 line down and put it here, and then this is div, and this is here. And here, really what I want is just a simple search box. So let's look at this here. And text input. All right, input. I don't want groups. I just want one input. This looks good though. I like it. I like this. This is what I want. This is what I want. Search for and then go. Great. So let's take this. Okay, so let's put this here. And I don't like this. And let's take it 7 lines up, paste it here, and then change class to class name and save it. All right, so let's look at how this looks now. Doesn't look good. So div. What is going on? Oh, this should be here. Okay, great. So now this is search for, and then we have the go, and search for should actually be develop. And then this one is component did mount. So now let's bring back the constructor. So the placeholder should actually be this dot state dot branch name, and then here we'll do this dot state dot branch name. Okay, and then let's do load here. So then this is going to be here, and then this is going to be load, and then constructor with props, and then we're gonna do super. Again, people, questions is great, so feel free. So this dot state is this, and then branch name is develop here and here and here. Load is not defined, so this should be obviously this dot load. All right, so now this is develop and go. Awesome. So now here, and then on click equals to this dot load and then change branch and load. And then here, this is change branch and load. And then this dot set state and branch name equals to this dot refs dot branch name dot value. And then this dot load. So here we will say that this is ref of branch name. Unclick this. Why doesn't this do anything? What did I miss here? What? What? What is going on? Okay, so now let's do master. And what is going on? Network. And then on click. All right, wait a second. So then console.log this dot refs dot branch name dot value. Okay, so now master. Let's do go. So this doesn't work. What? On click and then. What am I missing here? My goodness. Exactly. So what is the issue? Ah, my God. Okay, so then here, and then this is this, and then this is this, and here. All right, cool. Okay, refresh. What? Unexpected token. Why doesn't it recognize this? Why doesn't it recognize this? This is an auto-bound function. All right, so master. And no, it still doesn't really do anything. React on click bind this. No, I don't want to do that though. This dot on click. Nothing is in my console. It's like it's not working. It's not doing anything. All right, so now I think this will be okay. So let's do master and go, and oh, it still did develop. So then this dot load and then this dot state dot branch name. So what am I missing here? So let's look at our actions, and branch name is passed in. So master, and yeah, this looks in develop, and then this is master. So let's do here console.log this dot state dot branch name. So let's do master. All right, so this dot state dot branch name, this dot set state, By the way, if someone doesn't know what is this FR and FB, there is no error in the console. It's just like I'm getting master from here, but here I'm getting develop. So this dot set state did not set this correctly. This was a nice hack, guys. You have to admit, this was a pretty nice hack. And people in the chat room have no idea what you're talking about, so you might want to explain it to them. But this was a very nice hack. Okay, so wait a minute. So this dot set state, is it asynchronous? No. I didn't know that. This is literally, I didn't know that. I did not know this. So go, and now we have master, and now the branch name is master. Great. So as you can see here, when we get the branch name master, then sticks is not run, and not run is yellow. So we can say develop and do this. And develop, they're all green now, and we can do release 2017-29-0 and do that. And they're all green. So this is pretty cool. And it's already working pretty much perfectly. Server side and client side. So we did both of these on the stream. What is going on now? Wait a second. What did I do? What did I screw up? What did I screw up? What is going on? Okay, here. Got it. So what they're talking about, by the way, is this car is being controlled by the Twitch chat. So as you can see, this car has a Raspberry Pi on it and a camera and a torch, so you can see where it goes, and basically commands in the chat activate the car. So F goes forward, B goes backwards, FL is forward left, and so on and so forth. And we did this on the stream as well. Yeah, exactly, a torch. And that was a very nice hack. Very, very interesting project. You know what I wouldn't say on the stream anymore. Okay, so now I just want to add a few more. So let's do that. Okay, so let's do Barbara and Dodona and Pythia, and add Gaston, and do that. And now when I do go, I should be seeing all of these projects. And I don't. Okay, what happened now? What happened now? Did the server die? Oh, cannot read property status of undefined. So that means that one of my project is misspelled. It's probably Barbara. All right, so let's do that. All right, so Gaston and Oscar and Sticks and Fermina and Oscar and what else? Pythia and Dodona and I don't know. I think that's enough. So let's do go. Why is this not working? My God. Cannot read property status of undefined. Okay, so that's actually something I need to handle. That means that the build object here. Okay, so here. The project is getting undefined. So let's get a list of projects here. Let's do get. So we have Dodona, Pythia, Oscar, Fermina, Sticks. Why do we have 2 Oscars? That shouldn't be possible. And then Gaston. And oh, okay, wait a second. So this is develop. So that might be it. Okay, great. So develop and let's do master. Go and awesome. So you can see those didn't run, and we can do release 2017 29.0 and do that. Awesome. The project is looking pretty good. So now here we can actually go to the styling. Let me pop this out a bit. Here. Where is the styling? Here. All right, so let's do padding of 10 pixels here. And oh, this should actually be another row in and of itself. So let's do build. And this is, all right, so this is div class name equals row. And then 12 lines down, we need to do this. Okay, so now this looks better. And what I want now is here. Okay, so import and let's do style.css. And let's src features build screen style.css and say that row. So dot build container dot row. Let's say that padding bottom is 10 pixels. Okay, so that looks better. And then so let's actually give the dot build container, let's give this a padding of 20 pixels to make it look nicer on the screen. All right, this is good. This is better. Okay, so then we have this and the commit. Okay. All right. All right, so let's take a screenshot of this. And put it somewhere in the README. All right, so I am going to call this a night for today. I've been streaming for like 4 hours. Did a lot for 4 hours if you think about it, but I'm pretty tired. So if you guys have questions, then let me know. And if you enjoy what you see, then hit the follow button. All right, so this is a screenshot. All right, cool. So we're going to add a bit of README here. Commit. Yeah, man, TypeScript will do that to you 100%. And Dr. Something, thank you for the thank you for that typing the input. That helped me find the bug. So envars are basically this. So when you do export x equals to something, then this is the envar, and you can read that with process.env.token, for example, or process.env.x in Node. All right, so we have the client and we have the server. So commit-m and then build model with more items. Master. So what is your question though? All right, so now let's go here, github.com, Kenso dev, and let's look at those repositories. Everybody that now sees that should star this on GitHub. And oh yeah, so we're not finished with the project. I'm gonna continue the project tomorrow. But we need to import the we need to update the end variables for all the projects so we can do that. So that's gonna be tomorrow, and also a bit of styling tomorrow, and a little bit more. And tomorrow my ride is going to be easier, so I'm not gonna be as tired as I am right now. I am basically running on fumes. All right, so let's close all of these here. Awesome. So you guys should start this project or fork it on GitHub. Yeah, I'm passing the envars from the interface. Yes. So we're going to pass the envars, and you're going to be able to update all of the environment variables. So we're going to have to think about encryption, and we're going to have to think about how do we store them, and how do we send them over to Circle CI. So we're going to have to think about all of these. How do we like restore and versioning and stuff like that. So we're going to have to think about all of these. So we have a few more hours, a couple more hours, 3-4 more hours maybe on this project. No, it doesn't require an app reboot because all it does, it will update the end variables on Circle CI, not on the actual app. On the actual app, we have completely different deployment system and provisioning system. Like the real apps are deployed inside of Docker, so you basically need to deploy a new Docker container with a new definition. So that is not, again, that is not for deployment. That is for the CI, right? For the continuous integration server. All right, cool. All right. So thank you everybody for being here, and I'm gonna see you tomorrow, and hopefully at 4 p.m. and not at 5:30 like today. So 4 p.m. PST tomorrow. Be here and be ready. All right, guys. Bye bye.